It's been almost 15 years. 343 of New York's bravest from the New York City Fire Department died that day. I still think about them in the rescue and recovery operations at Ground Zero. Our department has Special Operating Command units trained to handle the most challenging emergencies. Kenny Marino and Ronnie Geese were from those Special Operating Command units. Lieutenant Ronnie Geese worked in Special Operations Command, Squad 288 in Maspeth, Queens.
Ronnie and I went for a walk at 6 o'clock that morning. It was beautiful out. It was beautiful. Came home, we got ready for work. And ironically, I did something I had never done before. And to this day, I don't know why. He always went out the back door. I handed him his cup of coffee, kissed him goodbye, said, I'll see you tonight. And that day, for some reason, I walked to the front door. And I opened the door, scared the hell out of him, and said, love you, I'll see you tonight. And he drove off. I had never done that before. And that was the last I saw him.
Firefighter Kenneth Joseph Marino began his FDNY career in 1990 and was assigned at that time to Rescue 1 in Manhattan. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, his wife Katrina brought their children, Kristen and Tyler, into the city for an appointment.
So I went to the firehouse because our appointment was at 9, and we traded cars. He put the children on the fire truck that later was crushed, and he went to each door and kissed us each, goodbye. As he was walking away, he had shorts on, and I said, bye, sexy guy. I didn't never say anything like that, but it was just like that moment. It was just like, he was so cute, and it was just so special. I remember driving away saying that was just a really nice memory of a family time.
This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers.
Major League Baseball postponed its entire schedule for a week. Responsibility of hosting the city's first game since 9/11 belonged to my team, the Mets. The parking lot at Shea Stadium had turned into a staging area for rescue supplies, with policemen and firefighters sleeping inside the ballpark. Then suddenly, it was time to play ball.
I can't describe what it was like to come back and play because I don't remember any of it, in a way. It's just like foggy. Going out to the field, and the minute I heard the bagpipes, I lost it. We just felt out of control.
Among the 41,235 in attendance that night were Carol and her 3 sons.
I believe we got the tickets to the fire department. It was a decision, should we go, shouldn't we go? And we decided as a family that was a home away from home to us, and if there was someplace their father, my husband, would want us to be, to enjoy ourselves, try to at least enjoy ourselves, would be Shea Stadium. So we decided to go, and it was a very good decision. It was a very good decision. It really was.
The score was tied for most of the game until Brian Jordan put the Braves ahead 2-1 with an RBI double in the 8th. For Atlanta, the job of recording the next 3 outs belonged to Steve Carsey. He grew up in Queens and could see the Twin Towers from his boyhood bedroom. After a 1-out walk, Mike Piazza stepped up to the plate as the go-ahead run.
It became evidently clear that people just wanted to cheer about, something. And when you're in the right place at the right time and you believe in yourself and you have a lot of people pulling for you, you feel it.
Lopez wants it away. And it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
The place erupted, just absolutely erupted. My children, for the first time in 10 days, which I thought would never happen, were cheering and smiling and happy and just going crazy. I'm getting the chills now just thinking of it. All of us just hugged one another. You hugged strangers that night. That man, that day, that minute, did it for all of us.
Slowly hit, could end the ball game. There's one. Mets win. Put this one in the books. Shea Stadium has something to smile about.
We were sitting in the stands at the end of the game when some NYPD cop came over and signaled us and escorted us onto the field. And we went into the dugout, and Mike Piazza was standing there. And he was kind of lost for words, and he hugged each one of us. And he just had really nice words to my kids, that how their father was a hero and they should always remember that, and how sorry he was. It was just an absolutely spectacular moment, something I will never, ever forget, and something you can never thank somebody enough for.
3 days later, about 100 miles south of Ground Zero, Cincinnati Reds Media Relations Director Rob Butcher received an email. The Reds, with Kenny Marino's favorite player, were about to play the Philadelphia Phillies.
My husband Kenny Marino, a rescue and firefighter, is still missing. Ken Griffey Jr. was his favorite baseball player. If Ken Griffey Jr. could hit an extra home run for Kenny, I know he will be looking down with a big grin. Pretty simple request.
I wanted to connect to Kenny in some way, and Ken Griffey Jr., he was his biggest fan, so it was kind of my way to introducing Kenny to Ken.
I first went, oh. And then for a second I'm like, man, do I want to give him this? I mean, that's a pretty powerful thing to ask someone to do. What if he didn't do it? For whatever reason, I decided, you know what, he should see this one. He really should see this one. And I printed it out and handed it to him, and he sat down and he read it, and you could tell he was genuinely touched by it. And he said in a very somber voice, you know, I wish it was that easy because I'd love to do this.
The 1-0. Griffey swings and pulls it deep to right field. There is number 21.
As you hit first base, it's one of those things that you're like, I just did this.
When he hit the home run, I'm sitting there by myself, I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. When I went down to the clubhouse after the game, he met me halfway and handed me the email that I had showed him. And he said, when we're in New York next year, I want to meet Katrina and her kids.
We had just gotten back from the city. Someone had called me and said, what do you think about Ken Griffey Jr. hitting the home run for your husband tonight? And it just kind of gave me a breath of fresh air from that day. It was so stressful. Bringing DNA into the city and filling out death certificate paperwork, it wasn't nice. So to have something so special connect, it was almost like Kenny connected this for us somehow. I mean, it was like a full circle, like he was looking down and saying, okay, it's gonna be okay.
Griffey followed up on his word, meeting them in New York the next year and staying in touch ever since.
And when they met in July of the next year at Shea Stadium for the first time, I want to say Kristen was 4 and Tyler was 2. They climbed all over Junior in the dugout. You could tell he genuinely liked being around the kids and the family.
Guys are out there stretching and getting ready, and they're still in the dugout. We're having a conversation. Because at this point, it's no longer about me. It's no longer about baseball. You know, he's got 2 kids that are, they're going to grow up without a father. And it's about them. And if I can make them happy for just one day, I did my job.
6 years later, Tyler threw out the first pitch to Griffey in Cincinnati on September 11th, 2007.
To just have him in our life is just so special to us, and it meant a lot for all that he did. And he didn't just do it one year, he did it in so many other following years, and here we are today, and it's just amazing. He's just an awesome guy.
This summer, as he prepared for his induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame, Ken Griffey Jr. visited the 9/11 Memorial in New York and paid tribute to a friend he never truly knew.
We did a lot of things with Junior over his 9 years here, but that, to me, is one. There's a lot of stuff is here. The Katrina. Stuff's really. It's pretty cool.
Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazza have plaques in Cooperstown now because their careers were among the best in our national pastimes history. Ronnie Geese and Kenny Marino were great at what they did too. They ran into the World Trade Center as thousands tried to run out. They loved baseball. They loved their families. They did their jobs with excellence and pride. They paid the ultimate sacrifice in an effort to help strangers reach safety.
Kenny Marino is a hero, and Junior will tell you that. Ken will tell you, I'm just a baseball player.
No, I'm just a baseball player that just tried to give somebody something to smile about in a time of need.
I truly feel uncomfortable when people say, you're a hero, that home run, and I have to disavow myself from that. I don't feel like I was a hero. I really don't.
Me being able to do that, and Piazza hitting the home run, it gave New York something to smile about. Baseball coming back, it gave the country something to smile about and heal. Because 3 hours of having a good time could take the pressure off a whole lot of things.
No matter how you look at it, what he did for us was something nobody else did. It made us realize at that point that you can smile, and it's okay to smile. I could never thank him enough for putting the smiles on my children's faces, the smile on my face, and making me as a mom realize that, you know what, the kid's got a shot at this. They're gonna be okay. Might take some time, but they're gonna be okay.